Okay, we are here. It looks like everything's okay. Sorry for the delay. Uh, we are going to get started here right away. We have a very exciting match between Reed W. Richardson and Zayd Chaudhry. Zayd, since you are in the better seed, would you like to go first or second for the coin flip? Or sorry, not for a second. Heads or tails. I keep messing that up.
I'll choose tails.
You'll choose tails. Okay. The coin toss says tails. Would you like to go first or second?
First.
First. Okay. So Zayd, please, Reed and Zayd, please enter in a time here. Once you get that done, we will get started with the match. I'm going to server deafen both of you. Good luck to the both.
We're running time. Okay.
All right, so Caleb, can you hear me first of all?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm also commentating this match because they couldn't find anyone else.
Well, wait, Zay, did you enter in? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Zach was set to commentate, but he had to go grab lunch at his college campus, so I don't blame him. But yeah, that's going to be. This is going to be an interesting one. Zayd is going first here. Let's get this started with. Caleb, do you have the live stream open? Do you know what the polls say right now?
The polls 83% for Reed and 17% for Zayd.
Well, let's see if that's all reflected on that. That's going to be a 494 from Zayd. Not necessarily a challenge for Reed. Let's see how this goes.
Hi, Vishwa.
Alright. It's getting ready. Opting to go for the edge case in the back. Sort of a diagonal flip. That looks nice. And Reed reflects in that 397. His first solve is a sub 4. Reed is hitting the gritty as well. Wow, okay. That is quite the first solve from Reed. Caleb, I can't stress this enough, but we need to talk about early leads here. This is way too early, but
as Carter would say, the person who wins the first point wins the match often.
Within the earlier stages of Clock Cup, it was almost always, but you know, you saw upsets with like, well, not necessarily upsets either, but sort of just weird scenarios where the match was a lot closer than we expected, or it was a total blowout and we didn't even expect that. So it's too early to say, but the momentum Reed has brought does not reflect in that solve. That is going to be not good. See, it's a solid clock though. That's important. Caleb, do you have any comments to make about these two competitors right now and the context going into this match?
It's a weird start for Reed, like starting with a 3 and then getting a 6.
Well,
That's
Zayd might have just gotten a
inconsistent.
well, that was almost a 3. That's going to be Zayd's first point. Right now we tied it up. I have a feeling this is going to be a close match.
I do too. I think a lot of people have underestimated both Reed and Zayd, so it's interesting to see them go up against each other.
It's really cool. I thought Group A would be a very hard spot to get out of, and also Group B too. But these two were one of the main people that told me, okay, maybe it's a little more competitive than we expected, or maybe it's not necessarily a blowout, because Brendan was the one who grouped. Not Brendan. Reed was the one who grouped Brendan in the group stage. So let's see how that goes here. If he can keep that momentum. Reed solving. First side looked pretty good. The second side, is that a
And
DNF?
DNF.
It's a point for Zayd.
Would have lost by 0.02 anyway.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Zayd is keeping it competitive here, or at least not necessarily giving Reed the 3 points right away, but Reed definitely has realistic chances. An early lead in a close match cannot discourage you, because once you lose that momentum, that's when it just snaps apart. It breaks in half. So
Reed doing some interesting stretches.
yeah, he told me it's to calm down his nerves, but I mean, I guess different techniques work for different people, but I feel like my hands would be more shaky. They'd be more cold whenever I do that, but Reed didn't like that. But looking at the scramble, it does look pretty good. It's a 436 though. Let's see if Zayd can beat that. Alright, Zayd's looking at an interesting method of inspection, kind of just rolling the clock on the mat there.
That's a Dimitri and Joshua Marriott moment.
Could that beat it? It's a 399. Okay, that beats it. It's 1-3.
Hi, John DeCuber.
Reed's lead quickly slipped away, I should say. Not even it was slipping away. It quickly slipped away, but I think Zayd can definitely. Either outcome is very likely. Zayd can either bring on the Thunder here, or Reed can make a comeback. I mean, we've never seen a Reed comeback necessarily. That's the important part. We've only seen Reed just overperforming, I think. Or either the opponent underperforming.
Reed normally gets a strong start and then maintains the lead just because of how many points he got at the start of the match.
Yeah, but you're not seeing that there, though, which is concerning if you're a Reed fan. That's a 391. I don't know what Reed's doing with his jacket or blanket there. I think it's a jacket. But Reed's trying some interesting warm-ups. Again, with the handshake. It's a very quick inspection, quick flip. Could that did not... Reed doesn't like it. It's a 411. That did not beat it. Zayd gets a 4th point. Reed's going back to a I think to a computer, I believe. Alright, this scramble also looks very interesting. You have a really lucky case on this lighter side, at least in the draw scramble. So I want to see how Reed deals with this, more importantly than Zayd, because Zayd's already got the lead. But if Reed can win this solve, it's proved to me that Reed still has a shot. That was a...
Awkward flip.
Yeah, that was an awkward flip. Is that DNF?
And a DNF.
Okay. The pressure is on Reed right now. He really was an underdog in just going into the Clock Cup, but I think the reason why we're seeing Reed underperform here is just the fact that he was the underdog. Here he is not necessarily the underdog, he is a competitor. That's a 580 from Zayd, most likely a safety. Yeah, but that's really interesting seeing the dynamic, how Reed has switched from becoming like sort of that low-level competitor to someone who has serious potential in this competition, but if Zayd's already 1/3 of the way to winning, it's not looking good for Reed right now. Zayd is inspecting. A little bit of a lag there. The first side looked decent. The second side looks okay. It's a 457. What if Zayd has been pretty consistently like low level is crazy. Well, not necessarily low level within the Clock Cup, not necessarily in world class. All of these competitors that have shown up in this competition are either very close or are considered world class. This is not Reed's day. He's switching clocks, I think. Or he's warming up. He's switching clocks. Okay.
That is risky. Switching clocks mid, like, a session. That's never good for me, personally.
That is true. I've actually never switched clocks during competition. I think the only time I did was because I accidentally submitted my warm-up clock.
Switch my clock.
Yeah, Reed has just confirmed he has switched his clock, so quite an interesting move there. Let's see if it helps him though.
Maybe if he'd stop doing those stretches, he'd do better.
I mean, they work for him. He has better official results, which arguably have a lot. Oh, okay. That looks like a really weird timer stop.
Solved.
He said it was solved. It's a 449 from Reed. It's a good Zayd. The scramble doesn't look all that great, so Zayd might be a little intrigued by this. Is that going to beat a 448? It's a 413. Yeah, Zayd is already almost halfway here to a win.
7 solves in a row.
That's not good. If Reed can pull off the comeback now, he pulls off the comeback now. Because if Zayd wins the next 2 solves, the chances of comeback are essentially over. But if Reed wins the next 2 solves, then they are very likely, and this is still at least a slightly close match. But right now, it just doesn't look like it.
I think it's possible for Reed to win a bunch of solves in a row, just like how Josh won 13 in a row when he was down 6-2.
That is correct. That is 4.69 from Zayd. It's a beatable time for Reed here, but Reed's only beaten it a handful of times within this. Not a handful, but not more often than not, so that looks like looks a little awkward. Okay, Reed likes it though. Reed likes it.
Nice.
That might be his first point in quite a while. Yeah, that's 2 points for Reed. So, when did you switch clocks? Did you switch clocks during? You switched clocks the last solve, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he has a 401 second solve with his new clock. It's not. I'm not necessarily saying it's because of the clock, but it could be that. We never know. The scramble. I don't have the scramble, but I'm pretty sure it definitely wasn't bad if you're going to get a 401 and you averaged like mid-4, so probably saved a move or 2. Reed is going on here. That is... I can't tell if that was shaky or not, honestly.
He seems pretty happy about it.
457. It's very mid. I don't think Zayd could beat this if he really tries, but... Scramble.
He could also choke.
It is true, but Zayd hasn't really choked hard. It's a comfortable turning for Zayd here, but I don't think that's going to beat... Yeah, no. That's a double flip. And there you go. There goes my prediction here. It's a 7 from Zayd. I kind of jinxed it there. That was the first kind of official sort of, like, casualty for Zayd. It might have gotten... Yeah, the layout of the stream, I did change a little bit. I added the scramble, and I also added some little tidbits around the screen. So, Caleb, do you have any like predictions or comments to make about the future of this sort of what's happening?
I think Reed's
Okay.
gonna have a comeback.
376. With this scramble, it's possible.
Reed can beat that
You have,
based on his previous times and previous matches.
Yeah, you have a 2-move cross if you don't use AUF on the darker side of this draw scramble here. He's opting to go for the 3-move cross. Oh!
That beat it.
That beat it. Oh, wow. That's a 338. How like... Okay, Reed is again doing the gritty. Reed is making the comeback I think a lot of Reed fans want. Which Caleb is this? This is Caleb.
I'm Caleb Kearney.
No, it's the Trelford one. That is the Caleb. Reed is finally making a comeback. 3 solves in a row. That must feel pretty good.
Just as I predicted.
I mean, I don't like being. I consider myself on a realist, but yes, I do kind of lean towards pessimistic. Yeah, that's a clock drop from Reed. Is that a DNF? No, it is not. What was that? That was a 6-12 or a 5-12?
572.
572. That's not bad for a clock drop, actually. I think I have gotten a 498 clock drop, though, officially, so.
Zayd can still choke, though. Just getting a success can be good in these matches.
I don't think that was a choke. That was a 442. That's going to be 8 points for Zayd. What do the polls look like right now?
65% Reed, 35% Zayd.
Okay, that's interesting. Did Conan make quarters? Conan did not make quarters. He was eliminated in a very heated match between Joshua. Sluggish, maybe? 450. It's not good, but not... Well, not good, but like...
He made some missed turns, but his fast TPS helped him still get a sub 5, a mid 5, a mid 4.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not good. Reed is not happy right now. That's a 7, I believe. It's going to be a point for Zayd. Just when we thought Reed had the momentum, I think now he's starting to lose it. I think Zayd's starting to come back a little bit. Well, not necessarily starting to lose it, but like... Or Zayd's starting to gain more momentum. It's just that Reed has really failed more because he's lost on 2 mid-4s in a row, so... Dang, viewers are American. I mean, it's probably true. I could look at the statistics a little bit, but... Alright, I believe Reed is going first. Reed is scrambling. Who came top in their groups? I believe in each group it was Zayd, Caleb, Carter, and...
Cham.
Yeah, Cham. Of course, Cham. Okay, opting to go for a 2-move cross here. DNF? Okay. This is,
Interesting DNF, too.
yeah.
Just the cross was off.
I mean, it's pretty common in flip solves if you're... I'm not necessarily saying if you're not aware, but... Okay, that was a 523. I'm assuming that was a safety. It's going to be a double-digit lead for Zayd right now. I'm going to ask for a halftime break after this next point, because that's how... Once the sum gets to 15, that's when we go into halftime. I didn't even bother with the last match, honestly, because you were at 14-0, so... I didn't really want to ask for that halftime.
I was waiting for the halftime break for you to say, do you want one? But you never did. I wasn't going to bring it up, though.
I'm sorry. It's... You probably should have brought it up, but...
I forgive you.
Yeah, I would have probably thrown you off anyway. Zayd is shaking his head. That's going to be a...
Is that a DNF? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's a 489. Yeah, 489. With the scramble, yeah, I think that I see why now. Okay. Does that beat a 489? Yeah, it does. It's a 450. Finally, a point for Reed here, which is much needed. We're gonna go into a halftime break, if they want it, obviously. So let's unserve it for them. Sum is 15 points. Do you guys want a halftime break? Yes or no? Please give a thumbs up to the camera if you want it. Thumbs up. Okay, Zayd wants a halftime break. We will be back at 7:05 Eastern. I'm gonna set a timer, and we'll be back. Okay, we are back. The score right now is 10-5 in Zayd's favor. I will move on to the next scramble once I serve it in the both of you. From what I remember, I believe Reed is going first. Once you start, that's when that's when the second half starts. Remember, it is first to 15, win by 2. So scenarios like 14 to 15 cannot happen. Have to be 14 to 16 or 13 to 15. So hopefully that is clear to both of you. Good luck. Alright, I have served F in both of them. I will enter in the time here, and we are going to get started. Caleb, how do you feel about this sort of second match, this second half here for both competitors?
It's interesting. The score is 10-5 now, right?
That is correct.
I think that Reed could still bring this back.
I honestly don't necessarily believe that. I mean, it's not impossible, but it just depends on how the halftime break really replenish them. Reed apparently has switched between 3 clocks within the span of this one match. That sort of drop there didn't look good. That might be a 5, I believe. It's a 5-11. It's still pretty good for those circumstances, but
The scramble is really good too.
Yeah, Zayd's probably going to beat it, though, I think. Alright, high power on that one, and I'm pretty sure that it's 435, yeah. That's 11 points for Zayd. Every point matters here. Reed has to just stop Zayd in his tracks whenever possible.
This match is also interesting for me because it determines who I go up against next.
Yeah, that is true. Caleb, entering your time. What do you?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. What do you think about this though? Like, what are you thinking right now? I want to have your opinion about this because
I want Reed to win, but I think Zayd will win, and that's how I went into the match.
Why do you want Reed to win?
Because he's like the fan favorite.
Okay, I was
He's a Quad Cup mascot.
That I mean, some would say that, but I think Reed would also, in terms of, actually no, because Reed has a better average unofficial single than Zayd. Yeah, I mean, I think Zayd has had just more consistency. It's a 436 from Zayd. It's the same exact, almost the same exact time from before, if I'm not mistaken.
Zayd also underperforms in comp. Like, he's a second slower in comp.
Yeah, but I think this format is so different than a normal competition that's why I think it's really cool to watch. I don't think he likes it. Could that beat it though? No, it's a 501. Chances are slipping right now. Reed only has 2 more points here to spare. If he brings Zayd to match point, it's over, I think. She'd have to win about, like, what is it, 9 solves to at least have, like, some sliver of hope if you're at match point and you haven't gained any points yet. That's never a good sign. Okay. Reed likes that, I believe. That's going to be a 373. Is he going to hit the gritty? Yep.
On this scramble, that's really good because it only has an edge case, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But it's also like, okay, it's low, mid, high power, and then it's also high, low, then edge skip, I believe. So if you don't know the powers rule, check the clock Discord. Is that going to be a 373? It's a 491. That is a much needed point for Reed, I should say. 6-12 right now.
I wonder if Reed can keep this momentum going. Getting a 3 on that type of scramble, I want to see what he can do on an actually
Caleb,
good scramble.
Do you know where Ryan and Joshua are? Because they are like the they are the representatives of the Reed fan train, and they're both not present in the chat right now. So
I don't know where Ryan is, but Joshua can't watch the match for some
it's a
reason.
DNF. It's a 475. That's not. It's not. All Reed has to do is solve the clock, and he gets a free point. So.
The poll is interesting. Now 55% of people are saying Reed will win, while 45% say Zayd will win.
People are still believing in Reed, or they also can't change their poll results, so. Alright. It doesn't
I'm
look
trying
like
to
a
get
reaction.
something going in chat. Support
Well,
for
Back
Reed.
time. No
Luke,
safety.
Luke and Cameron have caught along. Okay, that's going to be 7 points for Reed. Alright, Reed's bringing it back. He has to really keep this momentum, and with this scramble, it's gonna be pretty hard. You have only a corner skip, which you might have to like mangle your pin order a little bit for that too. Harrison Mullins, though, bringing in the support for Zayd. Okay, it's a bit of a divided chat from what I've looked at. A lot of people are rooting for both sides here. The current Reed Zayd score is now Reed 2, Reed 3, Zayd 2.
That last turn, but I still got a sub 4.
Now Zayd 3.
You know what this means?
Okay, Reed is hitting the gritty. While he's doing that, Zayd's gonna get ready for inspection, not wasting any time here. Alright.
Zayd is just in the zone, not even noticing.
That
it,
looks like a
probably.
misturn, if I'm not mistaken. That could beat it. Oh, that can't beat it. That's a 464. I have a very vague history of, like, either getting the times really right or getting the times really wrong, like I just did there, so. I don't know if any viewers have caught on to that.
That was in my bingo chart I made.
Oh, right, yeah. What words do I normally mispronounce, though? Like, I know I mispronounce free because of my sort of, like, dialect, but,
Ryan suggested that I added that.
uh,
You need to talk to him about that.
yeah. Okay. Zayd here, interesting solve. It's a 441, nothing to write home about. Let's see how Reed's going on here. 2 out of the 3 solves, Reed has gotten sub 4, so Reed will be national champion. Alright, first side looks... I don't know if it's just his turning style or if he's nervous. He doesn't like it. I don't think that beat it.
He was shaking his head mid-solve.
551, yeah, that's not good. That's going to be a point for Zayd here. If anyone is looking for a Reed comeback, I don't think it's I don't know.
I think it's happening.
That's optimism speaking there, but realistically, I think there was a chance couple solves before this, but now as I look at it, I'm not so sure. Reed has to win every single solve that comes across his path right now.
And he will do that.
His first side looks... I don't know what happened. I mean, Reed shakes his head. It's probably like a high 4, low 5. It's a 509.
Josh in chat.
Josh has joined
Finally.
the chat. Did he join the Reed train a little too late, though? Reed's got a 5, so that's not great. The first side looks okay. I'm pretty sure the second side's going to be a fast one. Yeah, that's a 468. I believe it is now match point. Yeah. Reed literally has to win every single solve after this. If he lets Zayd get into his way, that's it. It's over. I want to know what Reed's mentality is right now. If he's going in with the fact that he's probably going to lose, or maybe a comeback. It's a very, very strong maybe, though. This is the benchmark to beat for Reed.
Not
It
a
is-
good flip from Zayd.
That
Still a
second
decent
side
time,
didn't
though.
look bad. That's a 495. Reed just has to get sub 5 here. It's not hard, but it is not easy.
Carter, are you back?
Yeah,
Oh, rejoin. Okay.
okay. This is the benchmark to beat for Zayd right now. Interesting first side, second side looks locky. Oh, that's
DNF.
DNF. It's over.
Just lost.
Okay, Caleb, just to update you, Reed has just DNF'd. Zayd, all Zayd has to do right now is just safety. Zayd's camera kind of lagged out there, but he did solve the clock. So, that is it. And that is it. Caleb, can I hear you?
Sad. I was really hoping that Reed would win.
Yeah, can you confirm that it's 15 to 9?
It is 15-9.
It is 15 to 9. I will update the competitors with that result. Zayd, congratulations. You have won the match 15 to 9. Reed, unfortunately, you are now eliminated from the Claw Cup. Can we get a post-match interview going on here? I want to see what your mindset was. So, looking back at this match, you kind of had two blocks here. You had like this one block where you were consistently winning solves, and then after that, it became a little bit too late necessarily, and I think that's when it started to slip a little bit. So, did you think you were able to make a comeback? Because the early lead from Zayd was probably not encouraging, if I had to guess.
Yeah. It wasn't great to have such an early to be losing by so many points so early. But to be honest, this match did turn out like pretty close to how I was expecting it to turn out. So.
Okay, that's interesting. Zayd, sorry.
I wasn't expecting to win against Zayd because he's really fast.
Interesting.
Going into this, I wasn't solving like that great, and so I didn't expect to win the match anyway. So congratulations, Zayd, for
Thank you.
winning the match.
All right, let me turn that question onto Zayd right now. What were your thoughts about not only your early lead, but how you're able to maintain your composure, getting some really consistent solves, with only a few and far blunders, I should say.
I reckon I just did well in treating it like all my other matches. Kind of that same environment kind of helped. And there were a few points where Reed was getting sub 4s on really not good scrambles. So that to be honest, that did kind of panic me a bit, but I still got some consistent times.
Yeah. Okay. Zayd, all right. I have one question for you, and Caleb, if you have any questions, I'll let you ask them after I go into this one. But you're gonna be going up against Caleb, who's actually in this call right now. So be careful about what you say. But what are you sort of preparing for during that match? If you lose, you'll still go into the third place playoff. So, just so you know. So.
Yeah, all I want to do is put up a good fight, to be honest, and not get completely destroyed.
That's fair.
That's kind of my goal going into the semifinal.
That's what I was trying to do against you, Zayd. I was just trying to put up a good fight, and I think I sort of accomplished that.
Yeah, you definitely did.
This match went very close. This match went very close to how I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to beat you, Zayd, because you probably average faster at home than I do. So I honestly expected to lose, but I'm glad that I didn't get. But I'm glad that I didn't get absolutely crushed. So those are my thoughts.
That's
Don't ask
very
me any
fair.
more questions. Please do.
All right.
Thank you, Reed.
Caleb, do you have any questions for these competitors?
This is really random, but for Zayd, what role do you think having long fingers plays in clock? Because me, you, and a bunch of other people have really long fingers.
That is a question I've never thought of before. And to be honest, I guess I wouldn't have a great answer apart from the fact that, like, when you turn the dials, like, you kind of need that extra
It does have
length
long
to get
fingers.
quick moves.
Fingers
So I
aren't that
guess
long, okay?
I guess that's probably my hypothesis.
I'm looking forward to my match against you. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, same.
Caleb, my fingers aren't that long, are they?
Not that long, but when you get older, I'm sure they'll be longer than Zayd's.
I love a growth spurt right about now.
Yeah, that would be. It's very crucial. Okay, Caleb. Any other questions for?
No, that's all I had to ask.
That is all you had to ask. Okay. We might be doing the Carter match tonight. It is getting postponed most likely, but if that's not the case, then we'll see you maybe later tonight. Have a good night, everyone. And Reed, good luck on your future clock endeavors. Do you have a comp this weekend?
No, but I do have one next weekend. I have 2 rounds.
I will be looking at WCA Live that next
Yeah.
weekend. Not only in that, but because I also have a competition. So I will be
Good luck.
seeing. Thank you. I will be seeing all of you guys later.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Reed,
later.
do you have any anything to say, like last words?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, those are